One of the strongest ways to make a difference when it comes to the environment is curbing emissions and educating those around you on why sustainability is so important. Salesforce is a strong leader in making sure net zero is attainable and providing businesses with the resources they need to meet their own environmental goals. Our next guest is the country manager for Salesforce Canada and is responsible for leading the growth, strategy, and operations to deliver digital customer success. She has more than 20 years of experience in sales and product management for technology companies including BlackBerry, Longview Solutions, and Siemens Healthcare. As a board member at the Mackenzie Innovation Institute, she is helping lead our country to make a change. Welcome, Margaret Stuart.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Elevate's Think 2030 event series. My name is Margaret Stuart and I'm the country manager for Salesforce in Canada. Some of you may know Salesforce as the global leader in customer relationship management software. With our technology, we bring companies and customers together in the digital age. But we also define our company by our values of trust, customer success, innovation, and equality. Salesforce was started with a vision for a different kind of company to change the way the world does business and at the same time improve the state of the world. These values are the foundation of Salesforce, and they've inspired us to improve the world around us. That's why we're so thrilled to be taking part in Think 2030's Think Sustainability Day. The climate change crisis is the #1 issue facing humanity today. And at Salesforce, we believe that businesses do well when they do good. And what I mean by that is that all businesses can and should be a platform for change. It's critical that every company do their part to reduce emissions and work towards becoming net zero. We don't have time to waste. I'm proud to share that Salesforce recently announced a notable achievement in our commitment to sustainability. To tell you more about this, I'd like to introduce Patrick Flynn, our Vice President of Sustainability at Salesforce, who's calling in from San Francisco. But first, we'd like to kick off with a quick video.
Move fast and break things. Remember how good that used to sound? For a while there, it seemed like technology was the answer to everything, and that business would drive us all forward. But it's time we took a look around. All around. Not just at the rooms where we sit, or the offices where we work, or the towns where we live, but all around, and ask ourselves if maybe we've broken enough. How much longer can we continue to put the few ahead of the many? How much longer can we proceed with business as usual? Let's keep moving fast. But instead of breaking things, let's find a way to fix them. Let's bring doing well and doing good together. Let's bring CEOs and NGOs together. Let's bring equal work and equal pay together. Tech and trust, shareholders and stakeholders, C-level and C-level, access and success. Let's bring value and values together. The thing is, technology really does have the power to lift us all, but only if we design it for everyone. And business really can drive us all forward, but only if we agree to hold ourselves to a higher standard. It's time for a new era of business, one that works for everyone. Let's build it together. Are you with us?
Thank you, Margaret, for the warm introduction, and hello, everyone. I'm honored to take part in Elevate's Think 2030 event, and particularly today, when we're here to talk about creating real change around a topic that is near and dear to me, sustainability. My name is Patrick Flynn. I'm the Global Head of Sustainability at Salesforce. I hope everyone enjoyed that video. It's always so important to have a visual reminder of what we're all fighting for. Climate change is the biggest, most important and most complex challenge humans have ever faced. Across the world, we're already experiencing the worst effects of the climate crisis: extreme droughts, wildfires, hurricanes, mega floods, melting glaciers, and the warming of the oceans, with huge implications for global equality and resilience. As these incidents increase in frequency and intensity, we are all asking, how can we build towards a more sustainable future, not just as individuals, but as employees, customers, partners, and businesses big and small across every single industry? In fact, we recently commissioned a survey showing that 62% of Canadians say companies have the greatest responsibility to address climate change, and I couldn't agree more. By taking action and doing so with a spirit of openness, there's a greater opportunity for Canadian business leaders to learn from each other and accelerate our progress in saving the planet. As more and more companies step up to their responsibilities, we need collaboration between everyone: industries, individuals, nonprofits, the scientific community, and government. The urgency around climate change couldn't be clearer. Bold action to stem the challenge early is far more effective than waiting. At Salesforce, we believe business is the greatest platform for change, and we are committed to serving the interests of all our stakeholders, including the environment. We strive to play a meaningful role in creating a just and sustainable future for all, from our suppliers to our customers, to our technology and our brand. We're using the biggest levers of influence we have to drive impact in the most high-stakes challenge ever, this climate emergency. Our sustainability vision is to accelerate the world's largest businesses to net zero, sequester 100 gigatons of carbon through conserving, restoring, and growing 1 trillion trees, focus on ocean health, and energize the ecopreneur revolution. We get to this vision by focusing on 6 critical priorities: reduce emissions, remove carbon, educate, innovate, change regulation, and reforest the earth. This climate emergency we're in requires everyone to align around a goal that is shared by all: limiting global temperature rise to less than 1.5 degrees C compared to pre-industrial times, and getting there in a just transition. This is grounded in what the science says we must do to combat the worst effects of climate change. Governments are helping drive momentum for climate action through new actions of their own. At the upcoming UN climate meeting in Glasgow, we hope to see stronger ambition and climate action from all governments, and the need to reach net zero before 2050. But businesses also play a pivotal role. We must work together in building a resilient and sustainable future that we all urgently need and that we all will share. At Salesforce, just last month, we announced that we've reached net zero across our full value chain. We've reached 100% renewable energy, and we're not talking about 2030 or 2040, 2050, but net zero today. It comes in three pillars. One, committing publicly to do all we can against the shared global goal of achieving a just and equitable transition to net zero in line with 1.5 degrees C. Number two, prioritizing reducing emissions as quickly as possible and aligning our full value chain across scope 1, 2, and 3 to the global trajectory of 50% emissions by 2030 and near zero emissions by 2040. And finally, number three, compensating today for any remaining emissions that can't be avoided or reduced by purchasing renewable energy and carbon credits from high credibility, high impact, high co-benefiting projects. In the long term, we're using removal credits only, and in the near term, using a combination of avoidance and removal credits. We're very proud of this achievement. We've shared our process and our vision in the Climate Action Plan. And net zero is only one part of our overall strategy and journey. We need to do more, and here's more of how we're doing our part. We're committed to supporting the conservation and restoration of one of the Earth's largest carbon sinks, our forests. Forests purify the air we breathe by absorbing carbon from the atmosphere. They also provide food and habitat for birds and animals and humans. And though we might sometimes forget, they play a critical role in our emotional well-being. Since the agricultural revolution, we've lost half the trees on Earth, from 6 trillion trees down to just 3 trillion now. Adding an additional trillion trees this decade could capture 150 to 200 gigatons of carbon from the atmosphere. As we've seen this year in Canada and around the world, forests have been systematically destroyed by fires, deforestation, and other human activity. We have already lost nearly half the world's trees, most within the last 100 years. That's why we joined forces with the World Economic Forum to launch the Trillion Tree Initiative, or 1T.org. It's a global movement to bring together governments, businesses, NGOs, climate activists, and ecopreneurs with the goal of conserving, restoring, and growing an additional trillion trees on planet Earth by 2030. In support of 1T.org's mission, we announced our own goal to mobilize the conservation, restoration, and growth of 100 million trees this decade. Since we set that goal, we've supported more than 20 projects around the world and funded already over 43 million trees in just these 2 first years. Stay tuned for an exciting announcement about the upcoming project in Canada this year. And with Uplink, Salesforce is helping connect more than 10,000 ecopreneurs around the world as they develop the next generation of climate solutions. We hope you'll find more at Uplink and 1T.org. We're proud of this work, but we know it's not enough. We are in an all of the above moment in this climate emergency. We need to execute every effective strategy well and as fast as possible. Forests are just one piece, absolutely vital, but not enough. We must do more. Combating climate change is going to be an all of the above endeavor. And we believe that putting technology in the hands of companies can bring huge positive change. Businesses have the opportunity to align their core competency to create the momentum we need at scale. For Salesforce, that is technology and innovation. More than 70% of people believe emissions reductions should factor into business operations, yet tracking a company's full value chain emissions is complex and time-intensive, full of incomplete data, tracked in complex, woven together spreadsheets. I believe in the old saying, you can't manage what you don't measure. That's why we measure impact across our full value chain. By creating Salesforce Sustainability Cloud to give companies a 360-degree view of their carbon footprint and provide data-driven insights to help them accelerate to net zero themselves. We are the first customer of Sustainability Cloud. It has transformed the way we think about climate action, and we know it can be helpful to other companies as well. Companies like TELUS, who use Sustainability Cloud to track and take meaningful action on climate. We also know that corporate climate action has to go beyond a company's own 4 walls and include their supply chain and their downstream impacts. For us, that means committing to help 250 of our top suppliers set their own science-based targets over the next 4 years as part of our 1.5-degree science-based target. We're providing tools, resources, and technology like Sustainability Cloud to help them break through the obstacles that are hindering supply chain progress. We also announced the Sustainability Exhibit earlier this year. It's a legal appendix to be added to all of our future standard purchasing agreements, requiring all of our suppliers to set science-based targets, deliver all of their products and services on a carbon neutral basis to us, disclose their scope 1, 2, 3 emissions to us, or pay. We know no company can do it alone. With increasing engagement upstream and downstream in our value chains, we have the opportunity to move the needle on climate change in a big way. As we race to net zero carbon emissions as fast and as equitably as possible, everyone, every nation, every government, every business, every individual has a pivotal role to play. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to drive the sustainability and the ecopreneur revolution we urgently need to save our planet. Climate change, again, is the biggest, most important, and most complex challenge humans have ever faced. This is our moment to create the future we want, to build a more sustainable, equitable future for all, and we need to do it together, and we need to start today. Thank you very much for your time today, and back to you, Margaret.
Thank you so much, Patrick. A lot has happened in the last 18 months, and we're now at a unique moment in time. Businesses are reevaluating their values, and they all have an opportunity to make a choice. Follow the same system we had before, or create something better. I urge business leaders to consider rewriting the playbook on how they do business, which can include a focus on how we build sustainable practices into our day-to-day operations. As I said before, I leave you with it now again. We truly believe that business is the greatest platform for change and that all businesses can be part of the solution. Thank you, Elevate, for having Salesforce here today, and thank you to everyone tuning in and taking their part in this important conversation about how we can accelerate the fight against climate change. Thank you.